Hello everyone, and welcome to a new stream here on Access the Animus. My name is Marco, and I'm one of the admins here at ATA, and today we're going to have a stream dedicated to the new patch 1.3.1 that has been added recently in the last few hours to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And it's a huge patch, and it's a huge update. It has so many different additions to the games, and we're gonna have a look at all of them. The biggest one is of course the new River Raids maps, and when you start the launch the update, after you have installed the update, the new quest, the Legend of Lu, will be added automatically to your game. So we're gonna have a look at the River Raids, and then we're gonna also have a look at this blade called the Astral Blade. And basically this is a blade that has been designed by the Mentors Guild. We're gonna talk a bit about what the Mentors Guild is, and when this blade will also be available to everyone else. And along with this, we're gonna also have a look at the tattoos that have been added today. So we have a lot to see and a lot to test. We have dressed up as the Dublin with the Dublin champion outfit, because it seems proper, because 2 of the 3 rivers are actually located in Ireland. So let's start the quest and see where it leads us.
Have you cooked up any new legends for me to go chasing?
Eivor, you make it sound like I'm telling tales, but now that you mention it...
And is this Luke real? Or will I be chasing after another myth?
Will that matter when you are wearing a new set of armor?
No.
Before you go, I've added more stock to my list of wares. Take a look when you have a free moment. Oh, and my scouts tell me that the rivers have been replenished and are ripe for raiding.
Wasn't it nice for Vaughn to ask, to mention that it doesn't matter, like the story about the item set? Is that like a message to hardcore fans like us?
Up for some raiding?
Does it matter if you are wearing, like, the story of the armor? Does it matter if you are just wearing it? So in the meantime, as we can see, there have been new rewards, or like unlockables, cosmetics that have been added to Vaughn's store, and these are called Green River items. So, and these can be unlocked through the resources that you get by doing the river raids. So we don't have them right now, so we're gonna customize. Our Sary is gonna customize our ship to make it proper for Ireland. This is, I believe this is very proper to Ireland. The Irish folk ship is the one, like this design you can get from the Wrath of the Druids DLC. So so there's that. So we're gonna customize the ship, and then we're gonna go on our raids. I'm not sure if I can see your comments. Okay. Hey Baltazar, hey Miguel, welcome to the stream. No, you don't need the Ireland DLC to do the River Raids maps. And that's a nice thing, also because the 3rd river will, or the 2nd, we're not sure yet. One of the 3 rivers that are added this time will take you to a Francia-like environment, and so you don't need the Siege of Paris DLC to access it as well. So we are going to go on our ride in these Irish rivers. The first one is called the River Burba, which is now called Barrow, and it's in the southwest of Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, it's Ireland, so it's raining. Southeast, Sary is saying. So let's start. Like the river raids are similar, like mostly similar. This is the map that we can see. It's not a huge map, the one of this river particularly. The core mechanics. Hey Reverend Witness, yes, there's with the new patch, with the new update 1.3.1, it's a free one if you own the game. With the new update, you're gonna get 3 new raids, and Sary is taking us to some of the most interesting raids here. So yes, there's like 3 new maps. 2 are taking place in Ireland, and 1 in it's not Francia because it's rather Germany, but it's still under the Carolingian Empire, basically. Thank you, Armani. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for your comments and your compliments. I'm so happy you enjoy our content. What is your favorite content among the one that we do? And in the meantime, Sary is taking a detour here because she knows exactly where to go to show you a bit more of the raids, but also we have to find a clue that is called Lou's Myth Clue, and basically through that clue we can progress with the quest as well, so we can show you a bit more. Actually, we can see with you guys, because like we have tested for roughly an hour or so the mode, and we have tested only 1 river. Now we're gonna show you where to find the first clue, but we're gonna show you some raids here, of course, and then we're gonna see if we can move to another river as well, if we don't stop on the side of the river to look at the environments, of course. So yeah, Balthazar, you don't need the DLC in Ireland nor France. You can just download the patch and you're good to go.
Grip on your weapons. This place feels cursed.
Hey Maz, hey Emily, hey Kozak, welcome to the stream. So nice to see all of you here. Debunking videos are your favorite. What do you mean debunking? Did we debunk stuff? I mean, you cannot find the clue and 1 piece of the armor is bugged as usual. Well, you're a better player than us. Like, it took us a lot of time to even find the first clue. And Sarah doesn't remember where it is. Okay, can we have a look at the map? It's here, okay. Hey Hernan, hey Michelle. Hey Emily, welcome to welcome to the stream, and welcome to our first your first stream here at Access the Animals. It's so nice to have you join us. So yeah, this is it's pretty nice, this location specifically, the Wicker Grove, because it really conveys the feeling and the visuals of the Wrath of the Druids DLC. You can see a lot of like huge stones. We have our bad druids who are very tough to fight, and we might be able to see some werewolves as well. So yeah. Michelle, the news is that the new patch 1.3.1 has been released today, a few hours ago, and we can show you a bit of its content. So yeah, this is the huge news for today, and later in the stream we're gonna show you a sword that you can actually see in action already. That is now only currently available to the members of the Mentors Guild. We're gonna discuss about, talk about what the Mentors Guild is, and that is later going to be available for everyone else through Ubisoft Connect. The future Compton videos. Oh, the one about the Isu, of course. We are very much focused on Isu content. So if you have tested already the new River Race map, the first clue that you have to find is located here in Wicker Grove. After Sary is done with all these pesky druids, you can try and use the skills maybe. You don't like abilities and skills. Yeah. Let's just go wrong. Okay. So while all the Yoms Vikings are basically lying dead somewhere, you can force this door open if your Yoms Vikings are not all dead.
Give me a hand over here.
If they're gonna get here, hopefully. Maybe. I think you have an enemy behind you. Oh. So in the meantime, I'm gonna have a look at the chat. Oh, the banking language and clues. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, that's our huge focus, especially recently. Like, we are very much focused on, translating the languages that are hidden in the game, and of course analyzing everything, like all the hidden stuff, all the hints that could lead to new information and stuff. Balthazar, the Astral Blade, is still not available to everyone. It should be available later in the year through Ubisoft Connect. Ubisoft hasn't told us yet when it should be available, so later in the year, might be weeks or months, not sure yet. Thank you so much, Emily, for checking us every time you have some questions. And all the Yoms Vikings are dead. Okay, maybe we can revise our strategy here. Maybe we need to fight the enemies first and then go to the clue. My suggestion here is don't... upgrade your Yoms Vikings through the Yoms Vikings Hall. Otherwise, you're gonna be like us. They're gonna die soon, very soon. And you will not be able to progress that much. So yeah, Hernan, what you expected about Season 2 of the game? One mythological DLC only, or another one focused on the ending of Eivor's story? I honestly don't know. That really depends on Ubisoft planning and how that was changed due to COVID this year and last year, maybe. Surely there is one DLC planned. If other plans have been postponed, we might expect a new DLC for Valhalla as well. Not super sure though. I'd like to, well, not just like, I'm kind of like expecting to see some explanation about, like, some follow-up about Eivor's, the final part of Eivor's story. It's something that I hope will be shown somewhere in the game and not through additional media.
I will find
hopefully.
much of all, Father.
But you know how Ubisoft is with this kind of stuff. A lot of personal arc endings ended up in transmedia, which is nice. It's still one way to get it, even though you would expect to see them in the actual games. Balthazar, don't call it common players.
me on.
It's been
I
a
will
decision
show you feats of strength
To me,
you
warrior.
cannot hold.
made by
Let
Ubisoft,
gold and glory be our meat.
and we are basically well. Don't shoot the messenger.
Up for some raiding?
In the future, you would like to see an Odin outfit for Eivor's memories. That would be nice. I do agree. It would be interesting. Which outfit though? Like the one from the memory corridor, the one from the ISO sequences, like that body suit, or which Odin outfit? Yes, Michelle, we were in Ireland, but not in the Wrath of the Druids DLC, but in the River Raids maps that are now available today if you download patch 1.3.1. So here we are again trying. Second try is the best one. Well, actually they say third time is a charm, but please try not dying. It's not up to her, of course. It's up to the young Vikings that I personally did not upgrade. So it's kind of like my fault, really. As usual. The wife is being salty tonight. But yes, okay. So as you can see, there is like very much an Ireland-like map. We see a lot of like druid locations. There are waterfalls as the one that we are seeing in front of us. There are monasteries as well. I'm not sure if there are fortresses. There's a fortress there. So yes, there's fortresses as well. So very much all the various gameplay locations that you can find in the Wrath of the Druids DLC. Odin's in this guy's outfit like the one he wears when he's talking to Eivor. That's pretty. That's very nice. It would be nice to have it in game. It kind of stands out because of all the runes, but at the same time, it's a very nice looking outfit. I would like to have it too, to be honest. Yeah, the suit that you fight that Odin has in the Aegis Swamp. Yes. Hope Ubisoft releases a roadmap about Season 2 in December or January. Yes, they might be doing that. Usually Ubisoft releases a roadmap. And this is classic us. This is classic Access the Animus streaming, where our dog is barking, ruining the stream. Actually, rather than ruining it, it's kind of like confirming it. Like, this is something that we are having in every stream now, so it would be sad not to have our dog bark at everyone while we are going to Ireland, very much. So as I was saying, yes, I would expect a Season 2 roadmap in December or January, that depending on how far that is from the actual release of the DLC. Like if the DLC releases in March, it's not obvious that we're gonna see a roadmap in January. Usually the roadmaps are very close to the first or second releases of said roadmaps, so it might take some more time. But yeah, it's all very much up in the air for now, and also very far. It's like 4 or 5 months ahead. I want some Odin storyline and then Eivor conclusion closer to whenever a new AC is planned. I think pulling the Odin story conclusion into Eivor's is super important. I agree. I'm not sure if that's what Ubisoft wants to do, especially in terms of release date, because usually it's very rare that they release a DLC very close to the next AC game. Usually there's quite some time between the the release of the last DLC of a game and the announcement or release of the next game, because they always have to have their campaign. So yeah, there might be some time between the DLC and the final DLC of Valhalla and whatever is next for AC. Which we don't know, actually. Like, we know about the Assassin's Creed Infinity project, but we still don't know what it's going to happen with that, what kind of games are planned for that, the format of the games that are planned for that, and stuff like that. So yeah. I wish to see a Ragnarok DLC. Please, Ubisoft, it will be cool. We may be seeing something connected to Ragnarok in the next DLC. Actually, we don't know when that's gonna happen. Like when the mythological DLC is gonna set within the Isu story. So it can be close or far to what we have seen in the main game. So yeah, hopefully everyone is onto Game Packs, and I'm still the take your time, Emily, like and share whatever is in your mind at the time your feeling is right. So don't worry about having to follow close to what we're doing and anything. Even us, like we are having a delay between when we are playing and what we are seeing in the stream. So let's have it like a very easy chat. Let's say what we have in our mind, like very easily, without any overthought. Hey Aditya, welcome to the stream. Welcome back, actually. Hey Mortal, Mobin, Daniel, so many of you again. You haven't seen the new River Raids map. Have you downloaded the patch 1.3.1? And have you relaunched the game? Like what the devs always suggest is when you have downloaded the patch, if you are in the game, restart the game so that it gets up to date, and then you should be seeing the quest that will lead you to the new River Raids maps. The Reaper gear is kind of like Odin's robes. Yes, to a degree, yes. The difference is maybe that Odin's robes are more finely decorated, and they're not. Let's say they're not slightly broken on their ends. Like the Reaper outfit is kind of ragged intentionally because you have to feel like the Grim Reaper. While Odin's outfit is very much finely decorated, basically. Aditya is saying, I felt the main game felt quite conclusive while setting up new plot lines in the future. Shame that the DLCs didn't follow up on the footholds that the original dev team left for them in the base game. I do agree, and sadly it's something that has been happening for the AC games for years now. It seems like it's part of the deal in a way, which isn't nice for fans for sure. But yeah, it does feel like there's not a lot of communication between that's nice between the teams working on the main game and on the DLC, and so there are always disconnections between the main game and the DLCs, both in terms of story. Like there are inconsistencies, but sometimes the DLCs are not picking up on the trails left by the main game. The biggest example is the reference to branches of the Order of the Ancients in Ireland and Francia, and we don't see any of that in Ireland and Francia. So yes, that's kind of sad, but that's also been the case for Odyssey and Origins as well, and to be honest, also in Unity, Syndicate as well, to a lesser degree, honestly. So it's been kind of like the case since DLCs have been part of AC. Mostly. Maybe with the Ezio games it was different. What are your thoughts on the Infinity Project? Asked Emily. I don't want a multiplayer AC personally. I'm worried about Infinity because of it's like an extension of the live service model, and that might mean even more microtransactions and stuff like that. But again, it's a worry based on nothing. We really don't know how that's gonna be. In terms of multiplayer, there are ways where AC can be very nice in terms of multiplayer. In my opinion, like the multiplayer from Brotherhood, Revelations, AC3 and AC4, I loved it. Competitive multiplayer based on stealth, I loved it very much. Even though you could see that it became quite stale in AC4, and that's why people didn't like it or didn't play it anymore.
Hey,
there we are, we beat it. So we can see, we can show if the young spike is not in this way. Okay, we can show in the map. Okay, so this is where we have to find the clue to go to the next river. In the map, it's here, so you can go back to the stream and take a screenshot if you're interested in seeing how it is. And you're gonna get also like this document. It's a prayer to Lu, who is one of the members of the Tuatha Dé Danann pantheon of gods in Ireland, who is also part of the ISO as Lu the Polymath. But like I mentioned in our video yesterday, I don't expect to have any connection to the ISO in this patch. Maybe it's gonna be the case, who knows. So while Sary completes the raid, I'm gonna go back to the question. I'm worried about the live service model rather than the multiplayer, because I really loved the stealth-based competitive multiplayer from the original games. The co-op multiplayer in Unity, I kind of enjoyed that. Honestly, I never experienced it fully. Like I liked it as a concept, but I never explored it to its finest detail, honestly. But a lot of people enjoyed that. You can create clans, and you have like your friends, and you can do assassinate. You could do assassinate stuff with your friends. One thing I wouldn't be like a huge fan of would be, for example, doing raids with other people, because like it's kind of repetitive already in the main game. So like multiplayer in AC has to be like very much thought, as like very much studied to make it appealing to most fans, in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much my answer. Lots of you, so many comments. I'm gonna go back because I missed some of your comments. Yes. Okay, Ubisoft may make KC games and ISU games if you can understand me. What do you mean? Would you like separate games, like Assassin's Creed games and games fully dedicated to the first civ, to the first civilization? Hey man, is there a small story to follow that ties to this update? There is the semblance of a narrative here in that, but it's very much gameplay focused. The narrative here is that you go back to Valhalla and talk to him, and he will tell you about more clues about another armor set called Loose Armor, and through that you're gonna be able to embark in the new reverse, and that's the story. So what you're gonna have to do is go through the River Raids locations and find the items, and then you're gonna have your items and your weapons, because there's gonna be 5 new weapons in this update. So yes, you can find that, and that's the story. And the other part of the story here are the comments that you can see, like by on. But that's it. And you can find more like documents about Lu in the Irish mythology. But again, that's it. Pretty much that's it. So don't expect like a proper story or a DLC story. There's no heavy narrative in here. Well, instead it was the case for the Mastery Challenge game mode, but that's not the case for the 12 gigabyte update, 6 today, 14, yeah. So yeah, the update has a very different size based on the platform that you're gonna download it. So for the Xbox consoles, it's gonna be like 30 to 34 gigabytes, because for the Xbox consoles, the game, like the update, always have to rewrite and update some of the game files, while the PlayStation consoles, and I think PC as well, is gonna be much less than 30 gigabytes. Hey man, so what's the best build now that Fuel Spears is no longer good? Honestly, I don't know. I would like the best the best build earlier, like usually it was like using the Gable Spear, because it was overpowered. I'm not sure if it was nerfed recently. Maybe the patch nerfed it, I'm not sure. Maybe you guys know more than I do. In the meantime, Sary is getting more foreign supplies, and I think we are also close to one of the items of the symbol. No, we are actually close to a book of knowledge. So, as you might know, otherwise I'm going to tell you, there's this new update will also introduce 3 new abilities. We're going to see one of them now. I'm not sure which one this is. Nice location. And this is called Percussion Arrow. If I'm not mistaken, this is this one actually adds, you throw an arrow to the shield of an enemy and it creates like a shockwave that stuns the enemy. As the lady decided, oh, we have to save all the young Vikings. Yes, let's not make them die. Thanks, Michelle, for joining us. Even though I think you already left. What's your build for this raid? Actually, because I'm not like a huge fan, it's not my thing, honestly, to have so much look to that stuff. Set, and that's because like two of the three rivers that we're gonna have here are taking place in Ireland, so we wanted to dress up for Ireland, and so this is like a set that is made available through the Wrath of the Druid DLC. So this set that you're seeing now cannot be obtained through the river raids. So that's my answer. Fernando, you also believe Infinity is just about money. I wouldn't say it's just about money. I'm sure that there's going to be content as well, and content that at least partially we're going to enjoy. We're going to see about how the content is going to be delivered. Like, is it going to be again some kind of, like, most of the content, like the best content is behind a paywall, or will it be like half and half, like some content behind paywall and some other content through the main games available through the platforms? We're gonna have to see. It's probably too early, and people said that usually, like a lot of insiders said that this is something for at least 2022, 2023, 2024, probably in 2 or 3 years. So it's very, very early. We're not even sure if this is actually gonna happen. So it's very too early. Fernando, no, we don't have Twitch. We don't know yet whether to do that. Like, now we are heavily focusing on our YouTube channel, as you can see. So videos and streams are here. Even though we have considered Twitch, we also have considered Discord as a social platform. Maybe soon, at some point. What else? What is the perk of the Astral Blade? Later we're gonna show you the blade when we're not fighting with all the druids here. Sary decided that it's time to go. Aditya is saying, I just know that the multiplayer game modes they are working on will be more akin to MMOs rather than the traditional ACMP modes. Yeah, that's more likely. That's because it's probably they are more popular rather than the stealth multiplayer game that we had. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the huge co-op raids. But then again, they can be fun. I don't know. I mean, you guys tell me in the chat. Like, are you a fan of like huge co-op raids like the ones from Destiny or even The Division or stuff like that? Are you a fan of that kind of multiplayer modes? Separate games to ISU and AC. I'm not sure if I'd like that, because I wouldn't like to have the First Civilization element removed from the AC games and like made as a side game. I would very much like to have the First Civ and the Assassin stuff as well in every game, because that's part of the core of AC. It shouldn't be removed. It shouldn't be sidelined, in my opinion, at least. So, so now that we have our new clue, we can move on and see if we can find a new.
Valravn, I found more clues for you to decipher.
I am eager to see where these will lead us. Aha! The rest of the armor set is hidden across the river Erif. A quick word of warning, Eivor. There is a champion who resides at the end of the river. If past encounters are to be trusted, he might be holding on to Luch's legendary spear.
If past encounters are to be trusted, they'll not be in possession of that spear for long.
That's pretty interesting. So, so this shows that we can access a new river called the River Erith. Let's see if we can update our John Spike call. I don't think so. Not yet. As you heard, Van introduced one of the new boss type enemies that we're gonna have we're gonna see in the new river raids, and it's called a Champion of Faith. And this Champion of Faith, like these bosses, they will hold the 5 weapons that are available through this new update. And in particular, this boss that is at the end of the river Erith, which is also located in Ireland, this boss will have a weapon called Lou's Spear. So this is one of the 5 weapons available through the update, which also has some kind of like lore issues with the Gay Bolt Spear that you obtain in the Wrath of the Druids DLC, because Lou's Spear is the one that should have killed Valor, but that's not actually the case in the DLC. But let's not dwell on that again, because I do that all the time. So, where's so many of you again? I know that I'm repetitive on saying this, but it's so nice to see all your comments. Thanks, Karen, for joining us. James, welcome to the stream again. Yes, we missed you. Even though you're from Poland, you're Irish in your blood. More Ireland is a plus. Yes, it is. And so we're gonna show you even more Ireland with another river again. So now we are in the river Erith, which this one is in the southwestern side of Ireland. It's in north. Oh my god, geography and I are enemies as well. Okay, so Sary, are you trying some like random raids, or are you going to the end already? Are you going to the boss already? Not even trying.
Otherwise my jumps fighting die.
Right. Okay. So Sary is going to attempt the final fortress of the second river without testing any other raid. Okay. Sounds reasonable, I think, right? Right? Okay, so I'm gonna have a look at your comments in the meantime. Isn't there an internal developer rivalry between Montreal and Quebec? There have been rumors about that. I guess even if there was, now there is like they announced a what's it called? Like a cooperation between the studios while working on Assassin's Creed Infinity. So even if there was, now the studios are cooperating. So, and now we're gonna have like a very nice sail under a river. Under a bridge. So now not only did it stop? Wow, nice. You cannot progress? Is this an issue with the DLC? Oh, the water is going against us.
Bring the mast down.
Very well. Okay. So yeah. Getting closer and closer to our boss. And we can see if we can fight him and obtain the speed. Did they fix the glitch on the cellar wine cave? I think someone mentioned that. Someone might have mentioned that in the chats earlier. I'm not sure. I would suggest you check anyway, because in the patch notes always have like a humongous list of fixes, and sometimes it can be sad not to see our own personal bug that is stopping us from progressing in those lists. But considering how many entries are in those lists, the devs are really doing like a lot of work. One would say, why was the game released with all these bugs? But again, it's kind of debatable, I would say, because there's also some of the bugs are introduced with the new content, so it's kind of huge content. What's happening? Sary is not happy today. What are you trying? Why? Because. Okay, so let's try this raid because I mean it's nice because like we can see some of the locations before going to the final fortress, and Sary is also trying to do the raid stealthily. Let's bet on how much this is gonna last. Minutes, hours, seconds. Oh my god, that was too fast. All right. I like how the areas in these maps feel a little more handcrafted than the previous one. Yes, I agree as well. The first iteration of the river raids, after doing 3 or 4 raids, the locations felt very much the same. While in this one, at least for what I've seen played by Sary, I think that they are mostly, well, not unique. I would imagine that doing all the raids they will feel similar, but they feel different to each other at least. The various buildings are located differently from one another. Also the placement of the enemies, I think. So it does feel a bit more handcrafted, as Aditya is saying. What else? Emily, I take out as many guards on my own, then call my Jones Vikings when I need to open chests or door. Sary is saying the same. So yeah. So yeah, that's. I think you can still fight them if you don't initiate the raid. You can fight them. What? Fight them? Well, kind of like part of the raids to fight. Yes. Even though, yes, all the raids you can do stealthily, but you cannot complete them because you still have to initiate the raiding. Otherwise, you cannot open the chest. Sadly. But Emily's idea is very nice. Like if you want to preserve your young Vikings, it's kind of important to take out the enemies first. It's very good. That was very nice. Any luck on the mythical tattoos? What do you mean, jackals? Which mythical tattoos? Do you mean the Isu Knight tattoos? How do you access the new River Raids maps? Is asking, like Dan is asking. I'm in Ravensthorpe and I can't see the new areas on the River Raids map. So basically, you have to. Very nice. So you have to download patch 1.3.1, Dan, and if you have done it already, you have to reset the game, just in case, and then a new quest will be triggered, and you will have to go to Vaughn, who is the character that is tied to the new River Raids, and to the old ones as well, and that will initiate your quest, and you will go to the first map. So you don't have all the rivers available at the same time, but soon. Why does female Eivor? I missed that question. I think I missed the question. I can't read any of them. Okay, I watched your last video from the Sender Mystery. May not be a mad Odin wanting revenge by his son Baldur. Yes, it could be that as well. Those sentences that we translated could be also a sentence by Odin who wants revenge after his son Baldur was killed by Loki. That's also a possibility. Honestly, in the Norse mythology, there are a lot of scrambled, twisted, and destroyed families, so it could be a lot of characters actually. Like I mentioned in the video, another vengeful character could be Vidar, who is one of he is the god of vengeance, and he's also a son of Odin, and very much it could be that Vidar is talking here, and he wants his family, like Odin's family, he wants to avenge his family, because it was foretold in Norse mythology that Odin would be killed by Fenrir, and so Vidar basically decides that there are depictions of Vidar fighting Fenrir to avenge the death of his father Odin, to put it very broadly and roughly. What else? Searching for a way to bring him back. Yes, this was actually mentioned in the Animus Anomalies, that for a time Odin went across the world to find ways to bring his son Baldur back to life, because he was killed. The Animus Anomalies didn't show if Baldur was actually brought back to life, but the plan by Loki was that while Odin was going across the world to find ways to bring back his son, Loki and Alethea would concoct their plan that actually worked, so that Loki could be revived later, as we have seen in the ending of the game. Are we able to build the John's Viking Hall to level 5 without acquiring the St. George armor set first? I'm not sure, honestly. Logically, I would say yes, because basically the Young Viking Hall is based on the exotic, what's it called? On the exotic resources that you obtain in the raids, and not necessarily on the rewards. So that should be the case, but I'm not 100% sure. Probably just like a random spear that grew into a myth. Let me tell you, your English is amazing. Really, Gustavo? Thank you. Thank you so much. I actually, honestly, yes, I am Italian. I'm Italian, and if you see the title and description of our videos in Italian, is because we translate at least that. We used to also put subtitles. We're not able to do that currently to our videos, so at the moment the videos are only in English. We're trying to go back to that. But yes, I'm Italian. Sary is also Italian. We have three members of the team, of the Access the Animus team, who are Italian, and then we have a member of the team from Canada, one from England, and we also have friends that are helping us. A friend called Azu, who's helping us with both with the translation of the manga and manhwas from French, and he also helped us with the editing of a video that you might have seen on our channel dedicated to Bridget's dialogues, and he's from France as well. So we are very much an international team, and also, you know, like a multicultural team with beliefs and everything, as it was the case for the message at the beginning of the game. It's not there anymore, it's not on the stage. So yeah. I'm from Sweden, and it's possible that you have a Viking ancestor in your dad's side. Tailgate, that's super nice, actually. Have you tried digging in your past and see if there is like any kind of like genealogical tree that you can find that shows that your family belongs to some kind of Viking ancestry? Aquila Assassin, welcome to the stream. Welcome back. I love seeing the Saint Denis connections to AC Unity is that key DLC. Do you think we will get more connections to other games in future Valhalla DLCs? As much as I would like, I would say no or maybe at best. The next DLC that we know of is mythological, so we could see some connections or expansion of the Isu story. So we might see Jupiter, Juno, or Minerva. Maybe, who knows? Because we're going back to the mythological world. So yes, we could have those, or not. It could be like a new, completely new story. So yes, hopefully there's something like that. I prefer to go in with not so much hope and be surprised rather than be wow, that was tough. Rather than having like high expectations and then be disappointed. So that's pretty much how I approach this kind of stuff. I'm trying to catch up with all your comments. I'm not able to do that. You guys. Would be kind of cool if they added For Honor inspired cosmetics since we already have Vikings. Yes, would be nice. I would like they're having a lot of crossovers, having AC in other games. So I wouldn't be surprised to see. Oh no! So yes, we're gonna try and do this again. This is part of the risk and reward balance from the river raids. If you die, you lose all the resources that you gained up until that point, but not the item sets. So not the item, the equipment items and the weapons. So yeah, I think it's time to restart this one. Or we can show the Astral Blade and talk a bit about the Mentors Guild. And then we go back to the river raids. So basically, what you can see here. Okay, let's show it in the inventory first. What you see here is called the Astral Blade. You don't see it now. It was removed from the. Okay, this is the Astral Blade. You have to push LT to. Okay, so the Astral Blade is it was okay. So this is the Astral Blade, and it's one of the two weapons that was added. That was designed by the members of the Mentors Guild. So and it's available currently only to the members of the Mentors Guild. So what is the Mentors Guild? The Mentors Guild is a group of fans. It's a program managed by Ubisoft. Where Ubisoft is taking the decisions of everything that is happening in the program. And recently, we at Access the Animus are part of the Mentors Guild, and basically it's a program where Ubisoft helps some of the members of the community to create content, showcase their passion for the brand and everything. And one of the ways that we were called to do that was to design two weapons, two one-handed swords that will be added to the game. So with the update today, one of the two one-handed weapons, one-handed swords that is called the Astral Blade, as you can see, was added to the game. Currently it's only for the mentors, and as you can see, it's an Isu sword. You can see the design is like the blade is made up of two parts, and the hilt has the design of an apple of Eden. There's like a drawing on the hilt, right, like there, and it's the same design that you can see in the glyphs and also in a lot of other Isu based designs. And The sword has its own story. I would suggest you check on social media. Look for the other mentors that have designed the weapon, like Cherry Flame. I think she shared some concepts for the weapons as well online. So we'll try and look for at Cherry, like Charizard and Flame. So at Cherry Flame. And she shared some of the thoughts and the design that, like the art that she did for the blade. So this is one of the weapons. Only mentors have it, and for now, and it will be made available to everyone later in the year. That's what Ubisoft told us and told the mentors. We don't know what that means in terms of timing. Probably we will know more later. And the second weapon that is not available to the mentors as well is called Valravn's Claw, and instead of being an Isu sword, it is actually a Viking sword. And for that one, we at Access the Animals actually helped doing that specifically, but we will defer to a future stream when we are able to show you that as well. In the meantime, we can actually show you something else. With the update, you can find these tattoo set. And actually, I'd suggest Sary to go to move to melee or heavy, or I don't know what to call that because that's not canon. So.
You well, friend.
Well, let's move to heavy. Basically, as you might have seen on social media, today Ubisoft also added the let's say the winners of the tattoo contest that they issued a few weeks ago. And basically this is a free tattoo set that you can find on Ubisoft Connect right now. It's available to everyone, and it's called Odin's Blessing. So basically every item of the tattoo set, so this one as you can see, but also the one for the head and the one for the arms as well, you could there it is. All these designs, all the pieces of the tattoo set were done by different members of the community that won that specific contest. So we're gonna show you that as well when we find it. It's called Odin's Blessing. There you go. That's very nice. That's Fenrir. That's pretty cool. I mean, congratulations to all the members that have participated in the contest. These tattoos are so cool. So we're gonna go bare-chested into the raids, so we can show the.
Finished?
What do you think? No? Sary is saying, really?
Be well, friend.
Oh, we can also not
Until
do
next
that.
time, Eivor.
Let's go bare-chested. Why not? So we can show a bit of the tattoos. You should also remove the weapons. Very good. I can keep the blade. Very good. Look at Javier. Heavy melee. I don't know. At this point. Anyway. Moving on, I'm gonna have a look at at your comments while Sary goes back to the rivers, I guess. Hi, mentor. Hi, George. Welcome to the stream. What else? 3 new abilities, 3 new river raids maps, an alteration to the rune system. Yes, we can discuss that as well. The update added a new difficulty system, so you can put a nightmare difficulty to combat. But also there is an update to the rune system. Basically, now the runes that you put on a specific weapon, they will. We can get maybe we can get the sails and show the sails on the customizable ship. Yes, Sary has always the best ideas. So let's customize the ship. And there we go with the green skull. So yeah, like I mentioned, I was mentioning the new system for the runes, which involves only the weapons now. So bows, weapons and shields. Basically, the runes that you put on a specific weapon, they will be active only when you use that weapon. So they will not apply when you're using the other weapons. So if you have runes on a bow, those will not apply when you are using, for example, a shield or a sword, and vice versa. So it's kind of like a nerf, really, because now, well, before the patch, all the runes that you had on all the weapons and items were active at all times. Well, now it's not the case. But at the same time, the devs also, like, to counter that, they removed a cap on the on stacking runes of the same perk. So basically, if you are putting all the assassination damage runes on every weapon and armor and everything, before the patch there will be a cap to the effect of those perks, while now you can have like a heavily assassination damage or fire damage build focused on that specific perk. So that allows for more specialized builds, which is pretty cool. But at the same time, it means that all the perks will not be active at the same time. And then there's a new difficulty called Aesir, which basically is the nightmare difficulty that we had in the old games, basically. What kind of Waka is asking, what kind of story do you wish for the new DLC? I just wish that the story makes sense with the established issue narrative. I don't know if that's too much to ask or not that much. I'd like that to be meaningful for the issue story, and to not go against what was established. But again, it's a DLC. That's very cool to have like a hood but be bare-chested. Makes a lot of sense. I don't have a lot of like expectations, because usually the DLCs have inconsistencies with the main game, so we could also see inconsistencies of this mythology story with the mythology story we have seen in the main game. There's a non-zero chance for that. This is a fortress. It's a pretty cool fortress, actually. Like, this is it's a Rhine fort, which makes sense with the Irish history, because at that time the Irish people had these fortresses that were basically circular in terms of area, and that was very nice, and shape, and they're called Rhine forts. You can find them in the Wrath of the Druids DLC, and it's nice to have them also in this free update. Aspect is asking to anyone who can help me. So basically, I finished the update. However, the new river rates won't appear. I don't know if people already answered in the chat, but I suggest you to reset the game, or to turn off your console or platform, whatever it is, and then relaunch the game. And if you have downloaded fully the update, it should be available now. What else? I love AJ is saying, I love the fact that Loki is with Lithia in the AC world. They're both of different tribes, just like how the Aesir and Jotun Loki is with the Jotun Angerboda in Norse mythology. Yes, that's pretty cool. I think that the writers of the main game did a pretty nice job with that. It does show, even if it's not touched upon too much in the story in the main game, like seeing two members of different Aesir tribes being together while be frowned upon by other members of the very different tribes. kind of makes it feel like there's some kind of like Isu racism in there, which is both nice and bad to see. But it's nice. You would expect that because like humans come from the Isu, so you would expect that some of those traits are also part of the Isu. I mean, there were some very bad people already, even without having racism issues, but still. I know that in Norse mythology, Freya asked her mother goes to Helheim and talk to Hel to bring Baldur back. Yes, that could also happen. We actually there were some concepts about Helheim being designed at least, or at least being thought of in the concept phase of the main game of Valhalla, but that didn't come to be. Maybe it's gonna be brought back in the next DLC. Who knows? Maybe. Honestly, Aditya, I'm getting really nostalgic for the base game. I played a little of the DLCs, and they are fun. Yeah, I would say like the main game, in terms of gameplay, it had its issues. Like parkour didn't work and still doesn't work, as you can see. So you're dead now. Maybe no. Try and do stuff. Try and do a lot of stuff. Abilities. No. As you can see, the game is still broken. So, we had another issue here. We are desynchronized. Kind of disappointing because you have to do it all over again. Hello, Assassin's Creed community. Hello, Kumar. I wish to see Sleipnir as a ride. Please, Ubisoft. I'm not sure because that's tied to a story with Loki that had like intercourse with a horse or something. I'm not sure if I want to see that, honestly. I'm not sure about that, but yeah.
Up for some raiding?
Have your Odin self is have his new name. Yes, I mean when you're playing in Ravensthorpe and you're having that avatar, yeah, you could call him Havior or whatever. You can also call him Non-Canior. Maybe you can call him Non-Canior. It would make sense. Yes, the timing was everything. I don't know. Yeah, we could clip that and post it somewhere. I hated that so much. The timing for the death. Yes. But yes. Here we are back again. I guess that at this point you can just go to the final boss and see if we can even survive there. Just go. It's at the end of the river. Just follow the river. Yeah. And you cannot go on. But was it at the end of the river though? It was. Okay.
Not now.
Yeah, before. Okay. Well, let's try. Non-Canior. Yeah. Yes, Praveen River Raid is free, as Aditya said. It's not only for the season pass owners. You just have to own the game, and at that point you just have to update your game to the most recent patch, which is patch 1.3.1, and after that you'll be set to go to the river raids. But if you don't have them, you will have to do the first 3 river raids first. Sorry, the river raids in the first 3 rivers first, and then you will have you will be able to access these ones. Tailgate. Have you played the 2018 God of War reboot? No, and that's like a something that I want to rectify at some point, because it was basically game of the year of 2018 for basically everyone and their grandmother, basically. So I really want to play that. And now that I got to know more about the Norse mythology because of Valhalla and because of like all the research that we do for all our videos and content.
Stop.
I believe I'd be even more prepared to play God of War than I was like last year, for example. So why not? I would love to. Lulubel, welcome to the stream. Even if Ubisoft added Sleipnir, there is a horse with 8 legs. How would they pull that off? They would. I mean, they did the Chocobo mount in Origins, and that was an abomination, and they did it anyway. So why not having an 8-legged horse? They had a lot of very particular horses in I don't remember the name of the other game that Ubisoft Quebec did. Immortals, Phoenix Rising. And there are a lot of mounts there that are super weird with a lot of legs or metal horses and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised to have an 8-legged horse here as well. How can Atlantis and Niflheim be the same? Ready theory you bring here in your channel. I don't know. I would have to research a bit more about Niflheim.
There's a chill here that gives me a sense of
At this point, I think that a lot of theories are valid in that... is this the end of the river? Wow. So you cannot go there because it's like a blocked map? Is it blocked even on the actual map? Seems like you can go there. I don't know. Well,
Can I?
you can't?
There are faults.
There are faults. Oh, so maybe you have to go through this raid and then... Well, that's pretty cool. So you have to find a way to go through that? Very nice. You guys in the chat know how to progress there, if you have already tested the tunes. You think it's there? Oh, well. Wow, you have to go up there as well? Okay, then maybe maybe it's actually there. Yeah. If it's a fortress that makes you go even... Oh, it's pushing you back. Okay. Okay, and then maybe, yes, you just have to go there. Maybe instead of the Astral Blade, you can get the Mjolnir. It's more powerful for you. I mean, you don't have to have necessarily the young Vikings to progress up until the end. There we go. That was my game of the year that year. It seems it's that God of War for most. Yes, it was. For what I remember, it was. Glenacally Fortress. Yeah, they're gonna spot you. No? Come on, Sary, come on. If anyone can answer this, do you have to complete the first river raids available from Vaughn to access the... Yeah, I would say so. Because it's... I'm not sure. I would say yes, because it's sort of like a progression. It's kind of like a progression, so even in the first 3 rivers, you have to do the first one and then the second one and the third one. You don't have access to all of them at the same time. And it's the same here. Like, you have access to the first river in Ireland and then the second one and then the other one in the Carolingian Empire. So yes, basically you have to do the first 3 ones before doing the other ones. How is the new update so far? It looks very nice, to be honest. The locations feel very handcrafted. They feel very different from each other. The abilities, we still have to test them, actually. It is proving to be a challenge, especially if you don't have your Young's Vikings up to date. And now we're gonna test the boss if we can get there, and we're gonna see if it's tough or not. And oh, that was nice. That was some nice sniping. good. Okay. Is it long to download it? It depends on your console. Sorry, on your connection. But yeah, it's gonna be between 14 and 34 gigabytes. So if you have a slow connection, it might take you some time. For us, it took us a good part of the afternoon. So yes. But yeah, it really depends on your connection. If you have like a super high speed, it might take you a few minutes or hours, depending on what you have. What else? Facito Medina, would you say it's too late for someone to start playing now with all the events and special offers missed? You mean starting playing Valhalla or this update specifically? In general, I would say it's never too late. In that, even if there were offers or like daily stuff, or even the festivals that were available for a limited amount of time, the main game is always the same for everyone, and I believe it's worth your time. The main game and its story. Especially if you have followed AC in the past, but also if you haven't, because the main game provides you with all the elements to understand all the main elements of the story, all the main path of the story, and all the mystery. That's some very nice stealth, Sary. Congratulations. So you can move on, basically? Maybe, I don't know. You also have the smoke bomb arrow if you need it. Or you can also not use it. Guys, can you hear me? I'm not sure because I don't see any connection here. Let me see, I'm not seeing the chat. I'm not seeing, oh, okay. I see the chat again. Okay, sorry guys. I had an issue on my laptop, but we're back here. So, what about rewards, gear set, and weapons? Roman is asking. So basically, even though we cannot show you a lot of them because it takes time to get them, basically you're gonna get one item set. It's called Loose Armor, and it's items like all the elements of the set are scattered across the 3 rivers. So yes, it's going to take you a long time to get it. And then there's going to be 5 more weapons. They are actually basically they are rewards for fighting bosses, and we are trying actually to get there before to get to one of the bosses before finishing the stream. And basically, like this one, for example, we're gonna get if we're able to get there, we're gonna find a boss that holds a spear called Loose Spear. So yeah, there's gonna be 5 weapons, an item set, and available for everyone. There's also a tattoo set that is available for free on Ubisoft Connect platform. And also there's some cosmetics for your ship, and those are actually available if you like by getting the exotic resources that I never remember how they're called, but basically the resources that you obtain through the river raids. So there's a lot of that. You just have to do a lot of raids and kill a lot of enemies like Sary is doing, even without doing the raids actually. So yes, I want you guys to personally work on future content for the game. That's a very nice compliment, I'm gonna say. You are so very kind. Sadly, I don't think we have the experience to work in games, even though we have some knowledge about the brand, of course, but still, I don't think that's enough It's very rare for fans to work on the games they love, especially because even if they get to the company, they also have to undergo training that might last for years, and they might not even end up working on their favorite game. So it's very complicated, I would say. A lot has been fixes that you now won't have to wait for. You can participate in certain edition DLC type areas that could have been visited earlier, yeah. Some areas are not available anymore in the game, but if they're not available, that's because they were not meant to be available, basically. The case in point is the Ile de la Cité area that was available in the Siege of Paris DLC in the center of Paris. That area is still available while you're playing it through the quest, but not in free roam now, sadly. But if you'd like to see how it is in free roam, we have a dedicated video on our channel, so you cannot experience it, but at least you can see it. I know it's not the same, but better than nothing, I guess. The update is up, Morga. Yes, it's up, and you can see it right now in our stream. We are doing one of the river raids in Ireland, and I think Sary, no, I've almost killed every other enemy, but I mean, you're making your way through the fortress. One way or another, it counts. I would say it does count. You're using non-canyor, but still, it does count. Weekly reset is worth this time? I'm not sure yet. The one from last week, it was, because it has it had a settlement decoration that featured Loki and his sons. Like it has a snake, it has for Jormungandr, it has a wolf for Fenrir, and I think it has Hell as well. That was very nice. It comes from the Jormungandr set. Other than that, I'm not sure, honestly. I haven't checked the weekly reset yet, and that because we are very much focused on the river raids right now, and I'm killing all the enemies before going to the boss. This weekly reset is just bad. Too bad to hear that, Jackals. But yeah, it can happen. It's kind of randomized. So yeah, some slow or bad weeks are bound to happen at some point. Anyway, okay, so Sary is trying to make her way through the fortress that is at the end of the river Erith, and apparently at the end of the river there is a champion that is actually holding the loose spear. So in order to not have our Young's Vikings killed, we're actually doing the raid without starting the raid itself. Maybe we're gonna start it at the end. I think the boss might be at the end of this tower or within that church. It seems weird. There's a church at the top of a druidic location. Maybe it's just a tower? Yes, as Sary said. Sounds like a nice location for a boss. So, careful about the werewolf. It's nice. What do you mean again, Roman? You think that the reset last week wasn't too good? What do you think? In the meantime, we're having our sniper, Sary, killing everyone. Look at all these bonfires. I don't think you got the arrows, did you? Oh, you're... okay. You're entering the... Is it here? Oh, it's not here. Like, this is an abandoned church. And you have to go through it to get to the end. Okay. Come on, Sary, you can do it. I know you can do it. Which game is better in your opinion? AC Origins, Odyssey, or Valhalla? Gameplay, mechanic, and action. Your honest opinion. Wow, this is gonna be a long one. But it seems like Sary is pretty busy with the enemies, so... You should cure yourself. Wow. Okay, so, I was absolutely distracted. So yeah, to go back to your question, I would say in terms of story, I would go with Valhalla. Valhalla has a lot for any kind of fan. So in terms of story, for the hardcore fans, but also for the casual fans, there's story for everyone, and it's super interesting, even for the long-time fans. The modern day is very nice. The reveal about Loki, and let's not go too much into the story, but yes, it's so very interesting in my opinion. So yes, I would say Valhalla for that. In terms of world, I would say that that Origins is better, because I personally am a huge fan of Egypt, so I would say Origins looks so much better, because I mean, graphically Valhalla is better, of course, but like the feeling that you get while going on the pyramids or in the desert or in the various locations, it's slightly better in Origins rather than Valhalla. In terms of gameplay, probably Odyssey. The parkour is bad in all three games, I would say. You can start the raid at this point. In terms of gameplay, I would say that the way in which the abilities mix and match in Odyssey is very nice. The combat in there is pretty good, even in Valhalla, honestly. In terms of, you mentioned gameplay mechanics, I did say story.
Can't do this alone.
I think I mentioned basically. I enjoyed the three games in different ways. Like I really didn't like the story in Odyssey, and the characters as well. For example, I loved Bayek as a character in Origins. Like main character, I would say Bayek is the best one in the three games. The story in general, especially the hardcore fans part, is much better in Valhalla, I would say. The Isu First Civilization part is better in Valhalla, in my opinion. So yeah, like all the games have their values, and here we are in front of the boss. I think Sary reached it through with non-Kenyor.
Put you in the ground, Viking.
And this is the champion, and he has, or she has, the spear. Come on, Sary, you can do that. You can do it. Come on, come on. So we can show you live how it is to fight one of the bosses, and hopefully we can get the spear. There we go. Good job, Sary. In the meantime, I'm gonna have. Ouch. Hi from Mexico. Hello, Emmanuel. Welcome to the stream. It's so nice to see so many people from different areas. I'm always so surprised to see so many of you from different areas of the globe. It's so. I'm so enthusiastic about that, honestly. Thanks, Fort Worth. Great mind. What are the chances that Cassandra's DLC will be a 1-year anniversary quest? I would say that could be a very nice honestly don't know if that's gonna be the case. Maybe, probably. And Sary is done with our champion. Congratulations. Good job, non-Kenya.
Look, spear. A true warrior's weapon.
Yes. And look at that. We got a new clue. But let's equip the spear, which can also be upgraded and enhanced. Okay. Sounds like a normal spear. With LT, you can see the details. Well balanced and very sharp. It doesn't look like an Isu weapon. Looks like a spear, a normal spear. And the perk is ignite your weapon when stunning an enemy. Okay. Let's go on. I think we are at... We're clocking in at 1 hour and a half. Okay. I think we can go on a bit more. This looks like a piece of a map. Van might have information. So I guess if you cleared all the enemies, you can get the resources and then go back to Van. So maybe in the last few minutes here we can actually we can go. Maybe we can find the third river. Not sure. And we can go back to this. I think there's even more, but you can stop by while looking for the resources.
Some treasure here!
Hey Ethan, it's so nice to see that look at that. So we have people from Wales, Cyprus, the Philippines, Texas, the Netherlands. Can Persia be the next setting? The Netherlands, Gebakken. I think that one of the rivers here, well, we're gonna see that. But it's the river Rhine, the third river. And I think it's in the part of the river Rhine from the Netherlands. That is in the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken. So you might find a part of your country in the game. Not sure. Maybe we can like...
Hey, come here!
If we can get there, we can show that in the map. And maybe you can tell us if that's part of the country. Careful, that weapon is pretty underpowered. Dude, from the UK. Curaçao. Where is Curaçao? Is it Brazil? Portugal? I wonder what Birmingham was like in AC Valhalla. Is Birmingham or like its early setting in Valhalla? Second populated city in England. Had it already been founded in the 1800s?
Some good plundering here.
Hey,
come here a moment.
The map of the Rhine seems to be southeastern Netherlands / northeastern Belgium, based off the clue map. Yes, it should be very close to that, even though the environments there will probably be similar to the ones from the Siege of Paris DLC. So it's gonna be Frankian-like environments, I would imagine. But that's because that area was part of the Carolingian Empire as well, in 888, up until when Charles the Fat was killed, and then the Carolingian Empire was fractured as well. And I mean again. So yes. South Africa. Wow. We're basically having people from every continent, basically, almost. Yes, I'm saying basically once again. It's the version of like it's what I have to say. It's part of the experience. It's like it's the as a matter of fact of our streams. Finally, you're able to leave a river without dying, which is pretty nice. And we can move on with a quest. Can you perhaps turn the game volume a little bit? Yes, we can. Sorry? Turn the volume up, is saying Jackal. The other one? Yep. Let's load the game, and you let me know if it's good enough for you to hear the dialogues and everything. And let me know if it's too strong now. Maybe it's too strong. Oh, you said down. You meant down. Okay. Let's turn it down then. I thought it was. Okay. Baltazar, you're Brazilian and you hate what AC3 makes with your country. Yeah. Yeah, that area is kind of debatable.
Well met.
But let's see.
The champion put up a good fight. Their land is now rightfully mine.
Well done, Drenga. Where were you when I was a young Joms Viking?
When you were a young Yams Viking, Rome still controlled these lands.
You continue to delight me, Eivor.
The champion had a scrap of a map on them, but I've never seen this terrain. It looks to flow from the North Sea.
North Sea, hmm?
In a monastery near these shores, a champion wears the god-blessed blade, Ufbert, that bends without breaking, gives without shattering. He does not answer to every call, but will come forth if his captains fall. So we have. I have it. This is Francia.
Here,
Let me mark the river on your map.
The Romans
Okay.
called it Rhinos, but the locals call it the Rhine.
So we have a new quest that will lead us to a new sword. And we don't have enough. And we don't have enough resources to upgrade the Vikings, the Yoms Vikings. So yes, basically this is one of the other swords. It's called Ufbert Sword. And it's a type of weapon that was created back in that time, in Francia especially. What can we get here? Sary, what would you like? The figurehead? Yeah, maybe the figurehead. Or the hull. Let's go with the figurehead. If you use those, you will not be able to get the Yoms Vikings, of course. But now we're gonna get to Francia, and probably we're gonna try and see if we can get to the Ufbert Sword in time. Otherwise, we're gonna have to finish the stream. But yeah, this is where the River Rhine is located. I think it's close to the make it to the Netherlands, or to the Netherlands part of the River Rhine, because that's where you enter or actually where the river reaches the sea, and that's in the Netherlands currently. So yes. Spoiler: if Otzoberg is defeated, who will be the villain? I have no idea. Valhalla didn't even mention Otzoberg. There is only a mention, I think, in the modern day files, and it's pretty disappointing. But as we can see, we got to Francia. But before that, let's have a look at the figurehead. I think you can get out of the ship and also this way. And this is the figurehead, like the new figurehead cosmetic for the ship. I think it's still themed with Ireland. It looks like a Valkyrie though. Looking at her helmet. Yeah, it looks like a Valkyrie with a spear. But yeah, we are in Francia on the River Rhine, where the river reaches the sea, and we're going to sail it up and inside, like within the land, so land in the direction of the land. And I think you should activate the quest to see where we have to go to get to the sword. Kill the captains to lure the champion. So basically, in this case, you have to kill captains in the river, and those are very likely to be like mini bosses. And once you get the captains that can be found in military locations, apparently, then you can reach the champion that will have the sword. Is this a military location? No. Looks like a settlement. Is it? Just go. I think you can. In the meantime, you're struggling to hear me sometimes, really. Or is it because like my voice is like I lower my voice, or is it like the mic? Let me get closer to the microphone first. Can you hear me now? Hello, Christy, la Red Erudito. You are here to see the new Astroblade. Okay. Let us clear the... No, Sary wants to show you. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe you can just equip it and do some fighting. The Astral Blade, yes. There we go. Okay, so you're gonna see it. Okay, you can see it through photo mode here. As you can see, it has like a double-edged blade, and there are constellations in there. I think that the designers, the other mentors, like Faye, who designed it, she put the constellations like the Altair constellation. I'm not sure, but that is meant to be something like that. And then we have like the design, the ISO design of an apple of Eden on the hilt, and then the pommel. Can you go back to the pommel very slowly? Oh, that's perfect. The pommel is meant to represent an apple of Eden, I think. So it's very much like an ISO blade, even if it doesn't have like ISO effects. But the colors, like the textures, are different on the blade and on the hilt. So it's very, very nice. The blade has also a story that I think you can find on Twitter, on the Twitter account of Faye or Cherry Flame. It's at Cherry like Charizard and Flame like Flame. So at Cherry Flame, I think she shared some of the concepts and the backstory of the blade as well, which is not in the description of the game, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we also came up with stories for the blades that we at the Mentors Guild did, even if those stories are of course non-canon, and they're not in the game as well. So it's more like some kind of backstory that we created on our own. You could also call it head canon. So yeah. So yeah, the constellations were a nice idea. It does fit very nice. What else? Sadly, Ile Dieu is closed, but at least we got rivers in Francia. Yes. Yes. So the Ile de la Cité was locked off, I think. We can also try and go there, but I really like the river here in Francia. It looks, the lighting in the Francia DLC is so amazing. Like you can do a lot of photo mode. You can take a lot of pictures because the light is super strong and you can illuminate everything that you have. I think this is made for a blockade, but there are no protections, so there's no. Look at this! Like there's so much sun, and you can see very clearly for example, the sails of the ship. While in the other rivers in Ireland, it's very dark, so you cannot see the details of the items that you have, for example. Yes, it's tied to Bayek. Yes, that's also a part of the story that I forgot. It's tied to Bayek. He placed the blade under the Sphinx to honor Kemu. Yes, go on Twitter and tell Sary how much you like her weapon. Well, it wasn't only her, by the way. We as mentors were organized in teams, and I think her was the third team among the 8 teams that participated in this. So it wasn't only her. Like she was the artist, but it was a team effort. So you can go online and find all the mentors that worked on the Astral Blade, and if you enjoy it, you can thank her. It's very soon. Everyone else is gonna be able to try the blade. Pretty sad it's not available for everyone already at release, but Ubisoft said it's gonna be available for everyone. So. It's just a matter of time, guys. It says Reda told Eivor the story of the blade and Bayek before giving it to her. Yes. Now that you mention it, I remember all the evolution of the process. I remember because basically what happened is that all the teams, like we were organized in teams. And only 2 of the 8 designs made it through. And basically what we had to do, we had to work in team to design the weapons, our version and idea of the of a one-handed sword. And then all the teams had a not a leader but a key speaker that would present the idea of the blade to the other teams. And so, for example, I was, if I'm not mistaken, I was the one who talked for our team, who was Team 7, and basically we presented our blade in terms of design and story and visuals, of course, and the perks that we had thought for that specific blade, and based on that and on the visuals and everything. The various mentors had to vote on the on which was the one that they preferred, and eventually the Astral Blade was chosen along with the Valravn's claw, which we cannot show you today. Hopefully should be available to the mentors in October, but I'm not sure yet. Kind of soon though. I know it's not very nice to hear soon all the time, but soon. Fingers crossed. It's pretty sad only a pair of weapons made it into the game. I think the dev team shouldn't have. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not sure how much I'm okay. I'm allowed to disclose, but basically creating the weapons requires and making them available in game requires a long time. It took us, well, since when we designed the weapons and presented them to the other mentors, that was, I think, 2 to 3 months ago. So that's not considering the time that it took us to choose the weapons. It was at least, I think, 2 months for the production of and testing of the weapons in the game. So having all 8 blades, it would have meant a lot of time and work on the dev's side as well. So that's why that was not the case and didn't actually happen. I'm actually pretty happy because originally I think it was only 1 weapon that was meant to be in game, and then it's actually 2. So we should actually be happy that it's 2 and not just 1. So yeah. And yes, the mentors have posted their concept on Twitter. We are actually still have to share some of the concepts of the Valravn sword. But I think they have been already shared by the other members of the Team 7. But yeah, soon we're gonna share that along with the story of the Valravn sword and the visuals and the concepts as well. They were done by an amazing artist who is called Alenok. I think you can find him on Instagram. But yes. In the meantime, I really love the environments of the Frankian environments. Look at how close the roofs are to one another. You can actually parkour through them. And even like the rock bridges and like the fortifications and everything. It's very nice. I really enjoyed Paris as a city, in the city of Paris. I think it's one of the best cities in the entire game, along with Jorvik, which is very assassiny. So yeah. And I think we are clocking in at 2 hours almost. So look at that. There are even ruins in there. Yeah. This issue with the bow pointing, I hate it so much. It happens so frequently. I'm not a huge fan of this kind of stuff, but and yes, as you can, I'm not sure if like in the Irish rivers we can see the Irish enemies, well, the enemies from the Wrath of the Druids DLC. I'm not sure if in the Francia river we can find the new enemy types from the Siege of Paris DLC, which are the cavalry, the light and heavy cavalry, so the enemies that are riding horses. I'm not sure if they are in here, because these are raid locations, and usually there aren't horses in the raid locations. I like the whole vibe for Jorvik. Yes, the quest gave off proper AC1 vibes. Well, yes, that was the intention. Like the devs actually went public about this. Like the design of Jorvik, London, and Winchester are actually there to mirror the cities from Assassin's Creed 1. Acre, Jerusalem, you know, and so that was like the design of the cities, but also the quests. They were there to mirror AC1. What is the green stuff? Oh, so we have found a captain. There we go. You want to try the nice. Yes. Let's try the percussion ability. The percussion arrow. You should shoot it in the... Yes. Good. Oh, that's nice. And you stun them. So it makes them easier to attack. You didn't have the ability triggered, but it worked anyway. Whoa! That drop kick. Where did he end up? In there, okay. I was worried for a second you couldn't confirm the kill. Okay, so that was one captain killed. We can show on the map where this is. So in case you get to this river, you will remember. It's pretty much here. So it's like the second location through the river. So we can actually initiate the raid. No, we still have enemies. The arbalist here. And we had to kill him too, right? Of course. So yeah, let's start the raid. I really enjoy the feeling of the Frankian locations as well. Like the buildings are very close to each other. It feels more like a European environment, and because of that, it feels like you can do more parkour in there as well. Because the buildings are taller, like they're you can jump from one to the other. It's up there. While you can do that in Ireland, and that's because physically back then the buildings weren't that tall. So that's the reason why. And you stun them longer than when you hit them with yes, exactly. Exactly like this. This new percussion shield ability. I don't remember. I think there are some windows open on one of the sides. Like you can jump in here. I think you should, yeah, break them. Otherwise, they cannot get in. Yes, there's. It stuns the enemy much more, which also means you can attack them more, and especially with the captains, and probably with the river champions as well. They're not coming, the Jans Vikings. They're useless. Oh, okay, there. One got in. Don't be sad. What if they went out as well? They got out.
Hey,
of course.
Come here a moment.
Of course. And I think my laptop got disconnected again. I hope you can hear me. I think everything is working fine.
Hey,
I'm just not seeing. But yeah. There we go. Slowly but surely. Take your time. It's not like we're here with so many people watching. So, all right. Off we go. Don't you like parkour? No. Okay. Yes. So the last one is there. Any news about the TV show and movie? No. The short answer is no. The long answer is I would imagine we can find more news about the TV show maybe next year, when the post-launch for Valhalla is over, and AC Infinity is gonna take more years to happen. I would imagine that that's the proper timing for the TV show to happen. While the movie, I'm not sure is gonna ever have a sequel. Don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon, honestly.
You've outstayed our welcome.
The first movie wasn't really successful, so maybe it's gonna happen anyway. But there's nothing pointing to it at the moment. So I think we can get close to wrapping up. If you have any more questions, this is the proper time because we're gonna wrap up soon, in a few minutes, I would say. So while we roam the rivers and see if I can find more locations, more military locations. Weren't the Templars reformed against France? They should be, but you know there have been some lore issues. Even the Siege of Paris DLC really goes against. Well, rather than going against, it's kind of like ignoring some of the story that was established in the main game. So yes. It was nice dropping in and talking. Thank you, Ethan, for joining us. This one was a long one. I don't think we've ever done 2 hours, but it was very nice. Both talking to you guys as usual, but also checking out the maps. Showing you the Astral Blade was pretty nice. And look at this one. Look at this location. It's like a Roman ruin within a Roman aqueduct. Oh, that's pretty cool. Can we see it with the photo mode? Oh, it's very bad that you can not go around with the Raven in this. This is very handcrafted. I don't think there is one like this in the Siege of Paris DLC, and it's here. Let's get up there. Yes. This is a proper way to end up the stream. Like looking at this location. In the meantime, I'm having the Bellators. They are going to be merged into the Templar Order. Yes, I think it's been mentioned in some interviews as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Look at this. It's like there's a town close to, like, built within the Roman ruins, with an aqueduct where the water is still going. Oh, that's super cool. That's amazing. Kudos to the designers here. This is very cool. I think you can have that red tiny tower in there explode with the explosion arrow. Can you? Maybe. Can you? I don't remember. Or with the torch. Can it explode? Will it explode? No. I just had you get spotted by guards. Are you happy?
You're always useful.
I'm always very useful, as Sary is saying. Oh, Derulito is actually suggesting taking a picture of the aqueduct. Yeah, it's a nice view where we are. Can you take a picture from here?
Sure.
Sure. And anything that our fans are asking for. Look at that.
Am I doing that?
Is it nice? I think it is. Yeah, let's screenshot that, and maybe we can share it on our social media later. Or not, because the online is not working. Well, we're gonna try anyway. Yeah, you can see we tried our best, and then if the services are not working, what can we do? Yeah, it is a really nice location. Honestly, this is probably the best surprise of the update so far, because River Raids, we knew about this, we knew about the locations, the tone and the visuals we would have seen. We kind of knew about the weapons as well, and the item set. Absolutely, we didn't know about this location. It's so beautiful. And I think that on that note, I think we can. Yeah, it's saved on the exit, so not to worry. On that note, I think we can wrap up the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. It was really a pleasure as usual. Oh yeah, it's gonna explode. Yeah, and having this explode, it was a real pleasure as well, I think. So thank you guys for joining us and for staying with us for like 2 hours. We're not really used to stream this much, but we really wanted to show you all of this, and it was so fun. Maybe it's best that we actually get used to this. It was so fun for us, and it was so many of you followed us, so I guess it wasn't that bad. So yeah, I think that we can get in the baths, in the Roman baths there, and then we can just say goodbye if the parkour is working. There we go, here we are in the Roman baths. So thank you all for joining us, and while we are killing these guards, I can say, as usual, we'll see you in our next stream and in our next video. So sayonara, bye bye, ciao ciao, au revoir, as we are in French. But we are in the Netherlands, I don't know how to say that. Well, bye!